y'all, what's up? It's your girl Diamond Dukes back with another motherfucking story time. Honestly, I shouldn't even really be saying another because I haven't recorded a story time in mad long, but here I am. Like I said, I want to get back into YouTube. I'm trying to be more consistent. I don't have a recording schedule, but I do know that I need to be getting a video out at least once a week. I don't know what day of the week, but I'm trying to get a video out at least once a week. So here we go. And before we get into anything, I need y'all to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I need y'all to subscribe to my other social medias. They all have the same name now, so Diamond Dukes _. So like this YouTube channel, it is Diamond Dukes _. TikTok is Diamond Dukes _. Instagram, Diamond Dukes. Hashtag, it's like not, it's Diamond Dukes _. So they're all the same. Like there's no reason why y'all shouldn't be fucking with me. Like the name should be drilled into your head at this point. So anyway, I got my little Driznaid because I am well over 21 years old. So I can admit that this is Douce. It is spiked with some Reposado Casamigos as well because I didn't want to crack open another bottle of Douce. I could, yeah. I didn't want to open another bottle of Douce, so I just put a little bit of remainder of Casamigos in here. And then I got some peach punch in here and some fresh pureed peach in here as well. So yeah, it's delicious. Okay, now, today's story is actually inspired by me not wanting to get up and do my makeup. So so what happened was I'm supposed to be going on a date today, and I don't even know if that date is happening because this person did not follow up with me or anything yet today. But it's not, we got like 2 more hours, so we'll see. But long story short, I was contemplating like, do I want to get up and do my makeup because I don't even know if we're still going out. But also at the same time, this guy is bad at planning dates. So he didn't have a plan. He didn't know where he wanted to take me, which is a big red flag. So he basically left it up to me to choose. So I told him like, I either want to go to Ruth's Chris or I want to go get some tacos. But I'm like, if I just got up and did my makeup, then we have to go to Ruth's Chris because I don't do my makeup for tacos. And you know, why would you get your face all dolled up and stuff and then go eat with your hands and mess up your, yeah, no. So Ruth's Chris it is, if he even shows up. And if not, well then that's his problem because he's been begging me to go out. So whatever. But yeah, so this story time that I'm telling y'all right now, I'm gonna think I'm gonna title it The Worst Date Ever because this has been one of the worst dates ever. And when did this happen? I want to say this happened probably like last summer. I'm not sure, but we're gonna go ahead and call the boy Post Malone. I think that's who I'm picturing in my head. I don't know. It's like a light-skinned man. He got like short dreads or like hair that's braided or dreaded. I don't know how Post Malone looks, but this boy's hair is in dreads, but they're short, probably like they're starter dreads, but they're long enough for him to be getting them corn rolled back and stuff like that. And he has like tattoos on his face. Yeah, I really hope it's Post Malone. Matter of fact, I'm gonna check because I want to make sure that, you know, my references are accurate. 1 second, I'll be back. Yeah, it's definitely given Post Malone. So yeah, we're gonna call him Post Malone. So long story short, Post Malone had been in my DMs in my inbox several times asking to take me out. And I always just say no, like, because one, we never have any conversation. Like he'll just hit me up, he'll respond to a story or something, be like, when can I take you out? When can I take you out? Like never. But two, just judging a book by a cover, I do apologize. He looks like a hood booger, like somebody who like don't really get into much, like chill on the block all day kind of shit. Probably sells some shit, you know, I don't know, but that's the vibe that I was getting just based off of looking at him. And I don't really care to date men like that. So that was like a no for me. And then also from his pictures, I could tell that he's not very tall, which y'all gonna hear me say this in a lot of videos. I need to be with a tall man because one, I just think it looks cute. Like tall men got it. And for two, me, I'm like a very self-conscious person. Y'all gonna hear me say that a lot. I'm 5'7", I wear heels a lot, and I'm like a bigger built girl. So I can't date somebody the same height as me. Like it just makes me feel bigger than I already feel, you know? So I like to date taller men. So that's another reason why I wasn't like initially interested in going out with Post Malone. So, you know, after the persistency and him asking me out multiple times. Yeah, so after, you know, the consistency of him keep asking, I finally was like, you know what? Whatever, fine, we'll go out. So the first time we were supposed to go out, I'm not sure if I think I canceled. It was kind of just like one of those things where I didn't really want to go. So then when the time came, I was like, oh, something came up, you know, I'm not gonna be able to make it. Can we go out maybe like next weekend or whatever? He's like, okay, cool. So then next weekend comes and he was coming in from Vegas. He was like visiting Vegas or whatever. So we had plans to go to dinner. But when the time came, I hadn't heard from him. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I guess no dinner. Long story short, he hit me up like an hour past the time where we were supposed to meet, talking about his flight was late and all of this stuff. Or he missed his layover or whatever. Yeah, that's what happened. Like he was late for the layover, so he wasn't going to get back in time for our date. So he actually wasn't late because he did let me know. So yeah. So I was like, all right, well, just let me know when you land. I guess we could play it by ear. But when I say that, that means like it's clipped. We're not going anywhere. But lucky for him, it was a Saturday. So when he finally did get back into our city, it was like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Like obviously too late to go to dinner, but we could still like go get a drink or something. Because in my head, I'm like, okay, we could go get a couple drinks on you. And then I could go out with my friends like afterwards. So that's what I had in my mind, right? No. So I'm like, all right, well, hit me up when you get back and, you know, when you land and we'll figure it out from there. So he hits me up when he lands and he's like, hey, you know, I'm going to baggage claim or whatever now. Like, was you gonna pick me up?
Don't piss me off!
So it's like me, I'm already dressed and ready to go outside. It's like I don't necessarily mind, but at the same time, I'm not your freaking Uber, and I don't like, one, did you assume I was gonna pick you up? Because I don't like that. And two, if this was your way of asking, I don't like that because you should have asked in advance. And yeah, so I was a little irritated by that, but I did end up picking him up from the airport, right? So I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm thinking like when I pick you up from the airport, we're just gonna head straight out, right? No. So I pick him up and he's like, okay, can you take me by my crib? I just want to drop my bag off and then we could head out. It's like, one, like I said, I'm not an Uber, but two, we're in my car, so your bag can stay in the car. Like, why do you have to drop it off right now? Which was my initial thought process. But then I also thought about it like, okay, you just got back from Cali. I don't know what's in your bag. I probably don't want it in my car anyway. So yeah, we can go ahead. We can drop your bag off, right? So we go drop the bag off. He tells me that he's going to be right back out, right? So he didn't invite me inside, but I wasn't going to go inside anyway. But because he said he'll be right back out, I'm just like sitting in the car. I got the car still... The car wasn't on, but it wasn't turned all the way off because I was still listening to the radio and stuff like that, right? So I don't know how long he was in there, but he was in there long enough for, by the time he came back out and I went to start the car, the fucking car wouldn't start. Oh, I'm jumping already. So, and this is another pet peeve of mine. I'm not a smoker, so I can't relate to like the cravings that people have to smoke. But when he got back in my car and I go to start it, like so we could get on the road, he's like, oh, give me a second, let me roll up. I don't like that. I don't like when people need to settle and, you know, do all of this shit before they even make moves. I don't like when you have to stop what you're doing to roll up. Like, I hate that. So we sitting there for like another 5-10 minutes just chatting while he's rolling up or whatever. And then I go to like crank the car and it would not start. The car would not start. So I'm cranking it. Nothing is happening. So now I'm getting mad. And my eyes is kind of watering up, honestly, because now I'm embarrassed. Like, my car had never not started before, for one. And I don't know how to fix this, for two. Like, if it don't start. So then he's like, damn, you don't got you got jumper cables, you need me to jump you? I'm like, no, I don't have no jumper cables. Like, my car never not started before. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. So he's like, all right. So he gets out the car and he goes knocking on his neighbor's door or whatever, I guess, to ask them for jumper cables. So I'm looking at him watching, and I'm like watching him talk to somebody at the neighbor's door or whatever. Mind you, this happened in October. Okay, this happened in October. So he's standing at the neighbor's door. I'm thinking he's talking to somebody or whatever. He comes back and get in a car. And I'm like, so what they say, they didn't have none? He's like, who? I'm like, whoever you just talking to. He's like, I didn't talk to nobody. So I'm looking around him. I'm like, I could have sworn I just told you talking to somebody. Why? I look at the door again, and it's like a freaking skeleton on the door, like for a Halloween decoration. So
This is a skeleton. This is bones.
my dumb ass, the whole time he was over there, I'm thinking he's talking to his neighbors, asking them for something, right? So also, before he got out the car to go talk to his neighbors, I also texted my sisters, like, anybody got jumper cables? I might need a jump, blah, blah, blah. So I was putting my own plans in motion, right? So when he got in and said that nobody answered, I was still talking to my sisters as well, like, yeah, I might actually need a jump. But then I just went to crank the car again just to see, and it actually turned on. So I'm texting him back like, okay, no, we're good. So then we get, we started driving, and I'm like, okay, well, where am I going? Where do you want to get a drink at? He's like, I don't know. I don't really be out like that. Wherever you want to go, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, all right, well, do you want to go to Puffin Air? That's not what it's called, but I'm going to just call it Puffing Air. Anybody who's from around here knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'm there every freaking weekend. So I'm like, do you want to go to Puffin Air? He's like, no, not really, da, da, da. I'm like, okay, then where do you want to go? Like, instantly annoyed, because don't tell me we can go anywhere and then dub the first thing that I say. So he ends up telling me to go to this place called Tipsy Moose. It's more like Tipsy Moose, I don't like going there at all. Like, their drinks are all right, but they're really tailored to non-melanated people. Like, the music that they play, even the music in their jukebox, like, if you go to request music, I can 99.9% guarantee that whatever song you want to hear is not on there. Like, they filter out the hip hop, they filter out certain artists, they filter out a lot of things. And I think that they are doing that to control the crowd, to make sure certain people don't go here. So we did go there for a second. We did have a couple of drinks. Post Malone wanted food though. So when he asked about food and they told him that their kitchen was closing, we kind of were just like, all right, we're not gonna stay here, because he couldn't get no food from there. So then we left, and then we end up at this other place called Cafe Hollywood. So we end up at this other place called Cafe Hollywood, and I like Cafe Hollywood a little bit better because they are more tailored toward Black people. Like, it's the same deal as far as the jukebox goes. Like, you can request music and stuff, and a lot of the songs you request are not on there, but I mean, at least 50% of the songs that you're looking for are going to be on there. So I guess that's something is better than nothing. And they have really good wings too. So I didn't mind going there. But when we got there, he was kind of just like, I just want to grab the food and then we could go. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we go inside. Mind you, it's a Saturday, so they charge a cover on Saturdays. He pays the cover. It's like $10 each or $20 each. Probably $20 each, depending on the time that we got there. So, so we go straight to the bar. He orders his food or whatever. And I see a girl that I know, like, not right next to me. There's a guy right next to me, but on the other side of him is a girl that I know. So I'm just like, oh, like, let me go say hi to my girl real quick. So I step around the guy. I'm talking to the girls. Like, she's like, hey, what you doing? Literally, we were talking for like 2 minutes. Post Malone come grabbing my arm, like, just like pull my arm to me and, motioning like. So I go up to him. I'm like, what's up? He's like, yeah, we got to get out of here. I'm like, all right, what happened? He's like, come on. So he started walking out to my car, like damn near leaving me, just start walking out to my car. I'm like, all right. So he gets to the car and he's pulling on the door. He's like, yo, open the door. But my key fob is dead. Like, I needed to replace the batteries in my key fob for like months. It never did. So I couldn't just chirp the door and let him in. Like, I had to go up to the door, open mine, and then unlock it from the inside so his side could open, right? So, so when I opened the door, he gets in the car and he instantly started going on a tangent like, yo, shit just gotta be tight, son. I'm so fucking tight. I'm so fucking mad right now. I'm like, what happened that quick? Like, what happened? He's like, you don't see all them uptown niggas in there? How he was like, I knew I shouldn't have come here. I knew I shouldn't have come here. He was like, and the bouncer too, he told me, he was like, I'm gonna get in trouble fucking with you. So I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And like, I didn't even notice that he had a little conversation with the bouncer. And what, like, I don't even know the bouncer. So what do you, like, I don't get it. So he's like, yeah, let's go. So I pull off. And as I start driving off, niggas come outside. He's like, yeah, they looking for me. See, you try to line me? You try to set me up?
Amy, get out of my car.
No, I'm not gonna get out of your car.
Get out of my car. Get the fuck out of my car. Get out.
I'm like, I think you asked to come here. I don't recall, but if I suggested it, you didn't say no. I didn't insist. I probably just threw it out there and you agreed because you wanted food. He's like, yeah, nah, you trying to line me. All the niggas in there too. Baba, Tata, Oppie, Shootout. Like, I'm just like, I don't even know none of the people that you're naming. So do you want me to take you home because you're about to piss me off? Like, that's literally what I'm saying. He's like, nah, that's crazy. You tried to line me? And I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to take you home because I'm not doing this shit. So I turned around, like, I started headed to his house. He's like, nah, I want my food. I already paid for my food, da-da-da-da. I'm like, all right, whatever. We'll wait for your food. So now we're kind of just driving around, trying to give enough time for his food to be done so we can go back and pick it up. So after like 5-10 minutes of driving around, we circle back, we go get his food. And of course, I have to go in and get the food because, you know, Baba and Tata and Boppy and Shootout and all these other people are in there. So I go get his food, and the girl that I was talking to at the bar before, she's like, yo, you good? Like, he just yanked you out of here. She's like, that's your dude? I said, hell no. And I'm taking him home right the fuck now. It's like, cause what? So then I get back in the car, I give him his food, and I'm pulling off. I'm like, yeah, so you want me to take you home? He's like, nah, you straight. I didn't mean to go off on you like that, but that was just weird, bro. That's a weird coincidence. I'm like, yeah, I guess so, but I'm about ready to go in the house anyway. So he's like, nah, come on, let's chill. Like, I didn't, you know, come all the way out here or cut my trip or whatever. I didn't do all of this to not see you. Like, I want to spend some time with you, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, where you want to go? I mean, I don't know. Where you want to go? To your house. I want to drop you the fuck off. So I'm like, I don't know. So we're like, we had already started driving. So I just happened to be on the street that has like a little hole in the wall bar. Like, nobody goes in that bar really. So I'm like, you want to go here? We could just chill here and drink. He's like, I ain't never been in there before. I was like, I've been in there like once, but it'd be dead. It'd be like a few people in there, like old people, white people. Like, you should be fine. He's like, all right, cool. So he has me drive past it first so he can kind of try to look and see. He's like, yeah, this should be fine. Park back here. Like, he wants me to park away from the bar. And the whole time in my head, I'm like, this is why I don't deal with people like you. Like, I knew it. Like, you can't move around the city that you live in comfortably. You can't go to a bar and sit down and have a fucking drink without thinking that somebody is going to try to unalive you. Like, I don't want to be in no shit like that. I don't even want you in my fucking car. And he said that too. He was like, man, I knew I should have carried my strap. I'm like, and if you did, you would have been fucking walking back home. But I digress. So yeah, we go in that bar or whatever. We have a couple drinks there, just talk or whatever. We was trying to wait and play pool, but these people was on the table and they wasn't really getting off it, right? So that was that. And after that, I think that's when we about called it a night. So that's when I started driving him back home or whatever. And he starts telling, like, it comes up again, like, yo, you're mad paranoid. Like, and you tried to say that I was setting you up. Like, that's weird as fuck. he was like, nah, because a bitch really did try to set me up before. Like, just recently, I was at this bitch house, and I don't remember if he said they had just had sex or they was about to have sex, but he was in her bed, like in his underwear, and she was in her like bra and panties too or whatever, and somebody came knocking on the window, like banging on the window or whatever, and he had his strap with him at that time, so he like jumped up, grabbed his strap and shit, and she's at the window telling the nigga like, yo, get out of here, you gotta go, blah blah blah. So that nigga arguing with her like, oh, you gotta do it in here, you trying to play me, you gotta do it in here, So she's like, get the fuck out of here, basically. Like, so that guy like walks off or whatever, and when she turned around, Post Malone had the strap in her face, like, you try to lie to me, you try to lie to me. Like, so yeah, so he got dressed and he dipped up out of there. So now he's telling me this story, and I'm like, bro, when you get out of this, like when I go to drop you off, I'm not even stopping the car. You kind of got to roll out because you're crazy. And if you pull some shit out on me, yeah, it's going to be a problem, right? So we pull up to his house, and when we stop, it's like he doesn't get out the car. Like he starts rolling up again and da da da. Like, so now it's like I'm kind of stuck here in conversation because I'm just too nice, honestly. Like, I wanted him to get out the car. I wanted to go home, but I didn't say anything. So I just stayed in the car. We just talked a little bit more. And, you know, the conversation wasn't bad. Like, he's not like a dummy. Like, he had some sort of a head on his shoulder, but at the same time, like, he was just telling me stupid stuff. Like, he was just in Cali, and he was like going on a tangent, like, yeah, the tree in Cali is trash and you can't get it past like 8 or 9 o'clock. Like, once the dispensaries is closed, you assed out. So I'm thinking I should just, you know, cop a couple pounds or whatever that shit is, whatever he said, and open a spot in Cali. I'm like a dispensary? He's like, no, like a trap spot, because, you know, it's gonna make a lot of money because people can't get tree after a certain time. And I'm just like, if that is your big business venture, then that's like strike 100 for you. You want to open a trap spot in Cali at 30 years old. It just wasn't given. And I'm just like, bro, for all of that, you could literally just open a dispensary. But you want to open a trap spot. It's like, I don't know. It was weird. So that was a turn off. But otherwise, the conversation was decent. Like, he had somewhat of a head on his shoulder. And I was pleasantly surprised, right? So, you know what my dumbass did? You know, after the night ended or whatever, I went home. And oh, you know what? All of this stuff happened on a Friday because the next day he asked to see me again, right? And yes, I went. So the next day he asked to see me again, and I went. And this day he asked specifically to go see a movie. I don't remember what movie it was that came out, but he was very specific. He's like, oh, I want to go see this, da da da, you want to come? And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, and that's the reason that I accepted, because he had like a real plan this time. He like told me the movie times and stuff. So I'm like, all right, this works, right? Right. So he picks me up. He's like, so we had a little bit of time before the movie, not a lot, but a little bit of time. So he's like, you want to grab something to eat real quick, or you want food at the theater? Like, what you want to do? I'm like, excuse me, sorry. 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 So I'm like, yeah, actually I want Chipotle. And it was like right there by the theater, so why not? So we pull up to Chipotle. Did he come inside Chipotle with me? Oh, at first I didn't get the feeling that he was gonna go into Chipotle with me, because like I'm getting out the car a little quicker than him. So I'm like, are you coming? He's like, yeah, I'm coming. I'm like, all right, cool. So I get we go in Chipotle, I order my food, we get back to the car or whatever. And I got a burrito, like it's wrapped up. I'm thinking I'm gonna just put it in my purse and take it into the theater. He's like, no, sit, eat your food. But really, he just wanted to roll up. So while I'm eating my food, he looking for his tree or whatever. He's like, yo, I know I bought this out. I know I bought it out with me, da da da, patting his pockets and all of this shit. And I'm just like he's getting mad. He's like, yo, what I know I bought a tree out, da 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 da. I'm like, are you sure you didn't smoke it already? Because when I picked him up, as soon as he got in the car, like usual, he rolled up. So I didn't know how much he bought out with him. So I'm like, you sure you didn't smoke it already? He's like, I know what I bought. Like, don't fucking, like, I know what I bought. Like, getting mad at me. So I just grabbed my burrito, giving Mimi. And I'm like, listen, because you're not about to talk to me like that. So I just kind of shut down. So I'm sitting here eating my burrito now. He's still looking, getting more and more mad. So I get like halfway down my burrito, because you know them shits is big and they fill you up. So I'm like halfway down to it. I wrap it up, and then I'm finally like, all right, let me help this nigga find this stuff, because you kind of just snapped on me a little bit. So I'm irritated, and I don't like when people lose stuff around me. Like, don't. And then it always puts me in an uncomfortable position, because in my head, I'm like, okay, if I help you look for it, you're going to be in your head like, this bitch took my shit and she trying to help me look for it. But if I don't help you look for it, you're going to be in your head like, this bitch took my shit and that's why she's not helping me look for it. So it's like, it's a lose-lose situation, right? So I turn on the light. This idiot been looking for his stuff the whole time, never thought to turn on the light in the car. So I turn on the light and I start looking. I open my door because I was going to like look down on the seat. And when I open my door, he sees his tree. Why it's on the side of my seat? Like in tucked in on the side of my seat, the driver's side seat. I'm like, no fucking way. He's like, this my shit right here, bro. Da, da, da. I'm like, oh, okay, well, there you go. You're welcome. He's like, you trying to lie for me? Like, you just tried to steal my shit? And I'm just like, and do what with it? I don't even smoke. It's just like the stuff that he say just be so stupid. Like, I get you lost your shit, but make it make sense before you let it leave your lips. So, so now I'm irritated all over again. Like, I don't even want to see the movie at this point, but you know, whatever. We go see the movie. The movie, I think it was all right. I really cannot remember what we saw. Maybe it was Saw. Whatever movie we saw, it was all right though. So the movie was good or whatever. And then afterwards, I felt like he kind of wanted to kick it or like go to a bar or something again. But I was just like, no. This is an absolute no for me. So, you know, I dropped him off back home, and that was pretty much like the end of the date. Like it was terrible. And it was crazy because a couple times after that, he would hit me up like, oh, what happened? Or why you acting like that? Da, 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 da. And I would tell him about himself, like, well, for starters, you accused me of trying to set you up. You accused me of trying to steal your tree. You know, you can't go anywhere and feel comfortable. It's just like a lot going on. So after me, you know, curbing him but so many times, he started kind of getting disrespectful, like talking crazy to me. I don't remember exactly what he said. I probably could pull it up, but I don't think it's that important to do so. Find it. If I could find it quick, then actually no. If I do find it, I'll probably put some of the messages like on the screen somewhere. But yeah, so after that, I kind of like bombed his shit, and then I blocked him from messaging me. And then of course he started messaging me on Snapchat. And then after him getting, you know, rejected a couple times, he got crazy with his mouth. So I blocked him on there too. And that was pretty much the end of that. But y'all, why, and this is another reason that reminded me of this story to tell. Why, like a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, my sister was like, yo, whatever happened with you and that Post Malone boy? Have you seen him again since y'all went on those dates? And I was like, hell no. He was freaking crazy. He was retarded. My sister is like, yeah, he was. And you know, he used to talk to Mika. I'm just gonna say Mika, which is like not our cousin, but kind of our cousin. I think she might be like related to my little brother by blood, but she's not really our cousin, but we call her our cousin. So he's like, yeah, and you know he used to talk to Mika too, right? I'm like, no, I didn't freaking know that. And this is another reason why I feel like it's too small. And this is why you can't have sneaky links. Like, people don't be wanting people in their business, but it's like, girl, if you don't put me in your business, then we might end up in the same business. So just tell me. I promise I will not go after your dude on purpose. But yeah. So she was like, yeah, he used to talk to Mika too. I did not know that. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, she told me one night he pulled a gun out on her. I'm like, what? She was like, yes. And then that same story, y'all, yes, if you know where I'm going with this, the same story that he told me about when the girl tried to set him up and the dude came knocking to the window, that is the same story that Mika told to my sister and that my sister is now telling to me again. So now I'm hearing the same story from both perspectives because I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This world is too small and I can't deal. But yeah, that was a nail in the coffin right there because I'm not gonna date nobody behind Mika. Or, you know, I'm not dating nobody behind nobody on purpose, but definitely not behind like my cousin. So yeah. But that is the end of the story of my worst date ever. And I did not even put a dent in this drink. So I might drink some down and then give y'all another story today, right now. So if you see another video with the same unflattering green top on, just know that I recorded 2 videos in the same day. But if I don't post another one, then as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, if you want a follow-up story about, well, whatever. If you want more stories, if you enjoyed this story, if you have any feedback, whether negative or good, if you just want to tell me that I look pretty, if you want to tell me that I look fucking ugly, I welcome it all. But can you please put it in the comments because interaction on these videos help me, okay? So like, comment, and subscribe to that. Remember, subscribe to all my socials. That's YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And what's the name? Diamond Dukes _. For which socials? All of them. Again, that's TikTok, Instagram, and this YouTube channel is Diamond Dukes _. Oh, and one more thing. My YouTube name used to be d.dukesxxx. So if you search for me that way, I'll still pop up. But when you search Diamond Dukes _, YouTube is going to make another suggestion for you. And you have to click like, no, let them know like, no, I know what I'm looking for. Diamond Dukes _. So click that and then I'll pop up. Okay. But if you subscribe to me and hit that little bell, you won't have to search for me. So it's like, help yourself, help me, help you, help yourself. But until next time, bye.